Wipro is at the day's highest, 0.2 rupees higher, and Infosys, of course, declares numbers today. So Infosys will also be in focus. Let's get some perspective on what to expect. Sarabjit Kaur Nangra, VP Research at Angel Broking, is now joining us. Sarabjit, what do you expect from Infosys, especially on the guidance front rather than Q4 matrix? What to expect?
See, guidance front, though I'm not in favor of speculating too many numbers in future, because next year is because this year has been bad for Infosys because of obviously one of the deals also getting impacted, and obviously macro environment. So possibly next year should be slightly, if not significantly, better than this year gone by. I think the range should be in the range of, say, constant currency growth should be in the range of 8 to 9%, I guess, or slightly above 9%. So I think probably you can say 8.5 to 9.5 is the range. I think conservatively they should be guiding towards for the next year. And as you rightly say, this quarter is nothing great. What is left is subtraction of whatever they have guided for. So I don't expect anything great happening out there. There is nothing which has happened during the quarter which should have a very significant impact. Obviously, currency has, rupee has appreciated. So that's one thing which has kind of a macro thing which has happened, which could probably have some bearing for Infosys more than others, because Infosys is more dependent on US dollars than others. So I guess these are the variables which will play out in Infosys numbers. Margins for most of the companies are going to be on Q-on-Q basis taking a knock, because this is a lean quarter for most of the companies, except for HCL, which is stronger, expected to have a stronger quarter. I don't think much happening in rest of the IT quantas. So that is a broad sense towards the numbers and broad sense towards the guidance for the next year. Probably more than guidance, I think investors should look out for the confidence or the reason behind the guidance, because we have seen last year Infosys started with a strong guidance and kept on reducing it downwards, because of though it's not a tradition with Infosys, but they have been doing it to nail it down to the minute level. So I guess given the last year that industry has gone by, I think industry companies would be cautiously guiding, because you have H1 visa and other issues also which are kind of in the backdrop. So I guess given all that context, though industry guys and even we are not as of now so worried about those issues pan the way they will expected to pan out, but yeah, I think still they will probably start with a conservative number, and probably as quarter goes on, probably we could see a shift happening in case it happens. But still, I think the range in the range of 8.5 to 9.5 should be a very decent guidance for the next year, I guess. So.
Right. Even if Infosys guides for a 10% growth or close to 10% growth on the higher band, valuations are factoring in that?
See, valuation, the problem in IT is no longer a valuation game, you know. If it would have been, then see, IT is one sector which is unlike other sectors or other companies which have seen a significant move up happen. IT is one sector which last year, because of Brexit and other macro environment issues, didn't participate. The growth actually didn't shaved off that badly, but the stocks had reacted badly. And you have seen movement only happening in TCS after it announced its buyback. So apart from TCS, still I'm carrying most of the stocks as buy actually, and most of them have decent upsides of around 20+%. So I guess so. Valuation is not a problem in IT. TCS through its buyback has put in a perspective that because most of the companies like Infosys, Wipro, HCL, they are trading significantly discount to TCS. Now if TCS which we believe is currently now hovering around somewhere around fair zone. Our target is close to the buyback price. So I guess in that scenario, Infosys, which is trading at say 15 times FY 17 and 14 times probably FY 18 numbers, I guess there is not much room and left for IT stocks to weather down in terms of valuations. Dividend yield of Infosys at the current payout is significantly at 3%. So I think large companies giving dividend yield of 3%, valuations which are reasonably 15, 16 if you look at across the board, and growth which is, see, the beauty of this sector is it's actually valuation is not dependent on growth, but its stock prices are getting impacted because of the growth. The beauty of the sector is that, because if you look at the ROE of the sector, in spite of the headwinds, in spite of the pressures that the sector is going through, they're market leaders in the industry, globally also, their ROE, business ROEs are significantly 40-50%, and if you have an ROE, business ROE 40-50% and growth which is 10%, the valuation matrix to determination will be always towards ROE. So as long as companies don't skew on the ROE front, I don't see any reason for the stocks to get deteriorated to that extent. So a business company which is earning 40-50% ROE on a business front, a 10% growth compounding is still much better, and the cash that they're generating, like TCS shown, they can always reward by high payout ratios and other buyback and other things. So because acquisition is something which IT companies have referred from in a very nice way, unlike pharma which is very aggressive. They generate cash but they deploy it in acquisitions where they're aggressive, they get into deals and other things. So pharma, like for example, an example I'm giving in context I've been giving for a long time now since I track pharma also, is that pharma company like Sun Pharma ROE, business ROEs are 25%, and long-term average growth for Sun Pharma like a company can't be more than 15%. Now a company which is smaller in size to TCS and other big weathers, ROE is lower than them, growth's almost somewhere closer to them on terms of long-term averages. It gets easily, and in bad times Sun Pharma is trading at 22 times forward numbers. So there is a lot of pessimism built in IT, and which is reflected in valuation. So valuation is the last factor I'm worried about in IT, given the business dynamics, given the market share position, given the growth, which I don't think at this size even a 10% on, and mind you, Infosys and TCS are confident, barring the current macro environment, to grow at 13-14% on long-term averages. So I think there is no long-term problem in the sector. It's just nearby gyrations or nearby concerns which are looming, which unless get resolved or are out and open, I think probably stocks will underperform, but it's a good time to get into the sector per se. I would suggest, because
Infosys capital,
fundamentally nobody sees. Yeah.
do you think in Infosys capital allocation, do they do any buyback, do they increase their payout, or they give a sustained payout? That is also something which will be in focus.
Yeah. That's what I said, like payout is something that mostly IT companies have been indicating that they will, a company like Wipro also has indicated that they will keep a payout higher because they are sitting on a lot of cash which is not getting utilized, and obviously the valuations are cheap, that there is, that's the only mode that they can reward the shareholders, by doling out the cash which is lying on the balance sheets and which is not getting utilized rather through acquisition. That's what TCS has already exemplified. Most of the other companies have also kind of in toto agreed that shareholder should be rewarded if this cash doesn't get utilized. So there are a lot of buffers for stocks not to fall from these levels actually. And as far as growth is concerned, I think the valuation at which IT companies are currently, I think though market will look at them numbers because that's the only trigger market is looking for stocks to move up. For a value investor, I think it's already discounted and there's no scope for them to get derated, and hence should be a strong buy. So I'm not looking at these numbers or growth also very in a significant manner. What I'm trying to say, I'm not giving that importance because I know that industry is on a strong footing and valuation currently don't justify or are in a position right now where it's not dependent on any variable, even growth for that matter, for a long-term investor to make money in the sector. So yeah, for a news content, for a short-term moment, yeah, it will have an impact what Infosys says, whether it will be below 8 or it is on the higher side of towards 10%, that those things will matter. But at the end of the day, I don't think, as long as the profitability of the sector is intact and long-term drivers in terms of Indian arbitrage between Indian manpower and global manpower is available, I don't think that there should be a chance for ROEs to get deteriorated. And unless that is the scenario, I don't think sector should have any problem for a long-term investors in getting in at these levels actually.
Right, but where do you think the growth will come from? Don't you think that their size is getting so big that to grow at 15-16%, it's very difficult on a year-to-year basis?
That's the beauty of the thing, is that even after growing in such a huge size, I don't recollect the exact pinpoint number, but I remember reading NASSCOM's one number which says that Indian Indian companies have currently, in spite of growing so higher, are currently enjoying only 60% of the global IT outsourcing service market share. Now, given that the arbitrage on which this business was built, which was the manpower cost between India and the US, still is so significant, I don't think there is any deterrent for these companies to grow even higher from these levels. So that can never be an issue, I think, as far as growth is concerned. Yeah, there will be a couple of years where macro trends like Brexit happens or something happens which is not in hands of Indian companies could crop up and could play a dirty sport for say 1 year or probably for few quarters. But a long-term trend, if you're going to ask me, I think there is a lot of scope. At 60%, I think there is still scope, yeah, but at this size that you're saying, yeah. The earlier they were growing at much higher growth rate, that nobody expects actually, and actually I don't think we should be expecting also. But the way companies, Infosys, have earlier indicated the long-term trend for Indian IT companies can easily be 13 to 14%. That I don't have doubts. Be it the original, the older domains in the IT services, and obviously there will be new services which will crop up like cloud and other things, which will always give you a poke up in terms of overall growth also. So I think there's enough levers available. It's just that the news flow around this sector is pretty negative, and it's pretty clouded, more so because of, I think now, after last year it was Brexit, but I think now it's more to do with the Trump factor and US, which nobody has a call, but everybody, even Mr. Narayan Murthy had pointed out quite a couple of times that, given the fundamentals, given the services these companies are providing to the overall economy of US, they don't see a threat of them wiped out of the business. So I think if that threat is not there and the valuation that they're trading, I think it's pretty attractive proposition, I guess.
Saurabh ji, thank you so much for taking out time for us and telling us what to expect from Infosys.
Gartner, it's an IT research firm, has also come out with a report